Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Now, look, let's just be honest and unbiased. And this is a question that I got from Uncle Ben. And I respect Uncle Ben. He's one of our subscribers, and he asked a genuine, honest question. Thank you very much, Uncle Ben. And he states, how would you see Loma versus Tank playing out? And so when I look at the Vasyl Lomachenko versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight, I look at a few things. The first thing that I look at is the Jose Pedraza fight. Now, Jose Pedraza is a common opponent for Vasyl Lomachenko and Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis stopped, Jose Pedraza in the 7th round. And that was an interesting fight as well. And Jose Pedraza went 12 rounds with, Vasyl Lomachenko. He didn't look horrible that fight. He did win a few rounds, or at least was very competitive for most of the rounds. And you look at Vasyl Lomachenko, he didn't look as special in that fight. But at the same time, you also looked at Vasyl Lomachenko has been in there with better fighters than Gervonta Tank Davis. He's been in with the Jorge Linares and the Guillermo Rigo. Even though Rigo's a little small, he's been in there with this type of competition. He's been in there with the Gary Russell Jr. And he's had a ton of amateur fights, 300 plus. So you have to understand that Vasyl Lomachenko is extremely experienced and has come in against very good opposition at points in his career. Whether they've been elite level, top level opposition, that's debatable. I think it's a close fight between Vasyl Lomachenko and Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't think it'll be an easy fight for either fighter. I think Tank Davis is a very good, gifted, and strong fighter. He's a young fighter, and he needs to move up in weight because he keeps missing weight. So I think that would make that fight even more intriguing. I think Tank is a special talent, and he's being held back by Mayweather Promotions and maybe by his own ignorance, because he's not looking for the biggest and best fights against good top level competition. Eventually you're going to have to step up and face better competition, and then we'll see the knockouts decrease, because every time we see a top level fighter step up in competition, their knockouts decreased. When you look at Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, his knockouts decreased when he fought Canelo Alvarez twice. No knockouts, no stoppages. So you have to understand that when you raise the level of competition, the knockouts tends to decrease. When he stepped up against Danny Jacobs, the knockouts decrease. Tank Davis is going to step up in competition. He's going to have to rely on his boxing ability and footwork at some point. At some point in time, the power won't be there to save you and bail you out. And so the key is, can you box your way to a decision? Can you fight another way other than the one way that you've been used to fighting and winning? Because we've never seen Tank Davis in that position. And the type of special fighter that Vasyl Lomachenko is, he may just put him in that position. Yes, Tank has the ability to hurt and stop Vasyl Lomachenko. We've seen Loma overwhelmed by Orlando Salido at points. We've seen Vasyl Lomachenko get dropped by Jorge Linares. But at the same time, Vasyl Lomachenko came back and won a lot of those rounds against Salido at the end. Vasyl Lomachenko got up and stopped Jorge Linares. So even when Vasyl Lomachenko's hurt or has his back against the wall, he can come out fighting and can make it extremely difficult. And against Jorge Linares, he turned the fight around and won. So if that's the case, and stopped him. So if that's the case, if you look at a guy like Vasyl Lomachenko versus Gervonta Tank Davis, in that particular fight, I think that Vasyl Lomachenko would drag him in the waters that Tank has never been in. I think that he'd frustrate Tank Davis a lot and make it extremely difficult. Now, Tank Davis, because he's such a strong fighter, such a talented fighter, I think that he will always have a chance to win that fight because he's so strong. But as of right now, I have to favor Vasyl Lomachenko, because it's once again the skill over power. I understand that Tank Davis was going to be coming to that fight extremely strong, but he's never seen competition like this. He's never had to step up against competition like this, and he's going to have no answer for guys like this, because it's hard enough to face a Vasyl Lomachenko and beat him, at any point, because straight off boxing skill. Because who can you really spar for Vasyl Lomachenko? No one has footwork like this at this point, except for maybe Usyk, and he's a heavyweight now, so there's nothing you can do if you're Tank Davis when you're preparing for this, except for preparing yourself for different styles, different fights, different looks. And you're going to need multiple sparring partners for that. So no one fighter can mimic as much as Vasyl Lomachenko can do. So such a complex fighter, Tank is going to have a problem getting to him cleanly and flushly again and again and again. See, a lot of people look at Tank Davis knocking out small, weak, undemanded fighters, guys moving up in weight. Tank is going to eventually have to fight a guy who's just as strong, just as big as him. And Tank's power looks tremendous right now, but we don't know what it looks like another weight class or two. We just simply don't know if his power is still going to be the same, because yes, his power is elite against bums, but what happens is when a guy has more weight on it, it's hard to knock him out. Yes, maybe Tank can't knock as many guys out in higher weight classes. Maybe that's why he's fishing around to fight the little guys. We don't know. There's so many unknowns because Tank has never stepped up in competition, and that's turning into hype. So at this point, Tank needs to step up in competition. As of right now, based on the things that we've seen in the rings, based on the skills and the facts of the matter is, being 100% honest and unbiased, you have to favor Vasyl Lomachenko to beat Gervonta Tank Davis. Once again, unbiased as always, this is Ibfp. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.